There comes a moment in every life when comfort whispers in your ear, tempting you to take the easy road, to settle for what is familiar, safe, and predictable. But greatness never comes from comfort. The world does not bend to the will of the hesitant or the timid. It responds to those who dare to reach beyond their limits, who push past the pain, who embrace the struggle as a teacher, not a tormentor. Every step that feels impossible, every challenge that seems insurmountable, every decision that shakes your confidence. These are the very things that shape you into someone who cannot be stopped. The path of least resistance leads to mediocrity. The path of courage, determination, and relentless effort leads to the extraordinary. Embrace the struggle as fuel. When life tests you, when the weight of responsibility presses down upon your shoulders, remember that struggle is not your enemy. It is the forge where strength is created, the grindstone that sharpens your resolve. The person who walks away from difficulty will never taste the sweetness of true achievement. But the one who faces it, who leans into discomfort and refuses to yield, transforms each obstacle into fuel for their ascent. Pain, doubt, and failure are not signs that you are weak. They are proof that you are alive, that you are reaching, that you are striving for something beyond the ordinary. Every time you endure, every time you push through, you accumulate the resilience and grit that make you unstoppable. You learn patience, you cultivate discipline, and you discover a depth of courage you never knew you possessed. To do what others want. While many shy away from effort, avoid confrontation, and seek the easiest way forward, the unstoppable choose differently. They embrace early mornings, late nights, and the lonely moments when no one is watching. They put in work when the applause is absent, when motivation feels distant, when exhaustion begs them to quit. Doing what is hard is not glamorous, but it is transformative. It is what separates the dreamers from the achievers, the ordinary from the extraordinary. Every time you choose the difficult task over the simple one, you build momentum, you prove to yourself that your limits are negotiable, and you begin to craft a life that commands respect. 3. Build unshakable discipline. Talent can open doors. Luck can provide opportunities, but discipline is what sustains victory. Discipline is doing what must be done, even when you do not feel like it. It is showing up every day, consistently, relentlessly, until your efforts compound into results that astonish even yourself. The discipline to endure discomfort, to embrace sacrifice, and to persevere when nothing seems to go your way creates a foundation no storm can topple. Unstoppable people are not born. They are molded by repetition, persistence, and a commitment to excellence that is unyielding. Step into fear and grow beyond it. Fear is a natural companion on the road to greatness. It whispers that you are not ready, that you are not enough, that the challenge is too great. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to act despite it. Every time you step into fear, you expand your capacity. You stretch the boundaries of what is possible, and you remind yourself that you are stronger than any doubt, any failure, any obstacle. Fear is a signal that you are on the edge of transformation. Lean into it. Conquer it. Use it as a compass to guide you toward your potential. You have within you the ability to endure, to persevere, to rise above every limitation you have ever known. The world does not reward hesitation. It honors action. It celebrates those who choose to do the hard things, who embrace struggle and who refuse to settle for less than extraordinary. Today is your moment to step forward. Today is your moment to embrace difficulty as a path to power. Take that step. Push through the pain. Confront your fear. Build your discipline. Do the hard things that others avoid. Become unstoppable. The world is waiting for nothing less than your greatness. When you truly embrace the struggle, you begin to understand that it is not something to avoid, but something to welcome. Life will inevitably test you, and those tests often arrive unannounced, in forms you never imagined. They come as setbacks, disappointments, failures, and moments when the weight of the world feels unbearable. Yet within these moments lies an opportunity, a chance to discover the depth of your own resilience, the strength of your spirit, and the capacity of your heart to endure. Struggle is the raw, unpolished stone from which greatness is carved. Those who flee from it, who seek only comfort and ease, will never know the fullness of their potential. But those who lean into it, who welcome the friction, the tension, and the resistance, will find that every challenge becomes a stepping stone toward mastery, toward becoming something far larger and stronger than they once imagined. Embracing struggle begins with a shift in perspective. It requires seeing difficulty not as punishment, not as a barrier, but as a necessary element of growth. When you face hardship, your mind begins to stretch, your resolve is tested, and your spirit is honed. It is in these moments that you learn patience. The patience to persist when results are invisible, the patience to do when progress seems slow, and the patience to maintain faith in yourself when the world questions your choices. Struggle teaches humility as well. It reminds you that you are human, that you are fallible, and that strength is not about perfection, but about perseverance. The strongest individuals are not those who never fall, but those who rise again and again, each time carrying a little more wisdom, a little more courage, a little more determination. Every struggle has lessons embedded within it. There is a subtle wisdom in failure, a quiet instruction in difficulty, and a profound revelation in pain. When you confront these challenges head-on, you discover the limits of your endurance, and more importantly, how to push past them. You learn that discomfort is not the enemy, but the ally that drives transformation. Every early morning when you rise before the world, every late night when exhaustion threatens to claim you, every moment when doubt whispers that you cannot continue, these are the crucibles in which your true character is forged. You begin to understand that struggle is not something that happens to you. It is something you use, something you shape, something that propels you forward with unstoppable momentum. Moreover, embracing struggle cultivates courage. It is easy to feel brave when life is smooth, when the path is clear, and when the outcome is guaranteed. True courage, however, emerges in the face of adversity. When you confront difficulty without flinching, when you act despite uncertainty, when you keep moving forward while the world around you seems to crumble, you step into a power that cannot be taken away. The struggle becomes a mirror, reflecting your potential, highlighting your capacity to endure, and revealing the depths of your determination. Struggle also teaches you the value of effort. It is not enough to wish, to hope, or to dream. Without facing the hard, relentless challenges that demand your full energy and unwavering focus, your potential remains dormant, waiting for action to awaken it. The effort you pour into overcoming obstacles, the sweat and tears that accompany your journey, these are the seeds of achievement. Each moment of struggle is a rehearsal for the life you aspire to live, training you, shaping you, and preparing you to thrive in circumstances where lesser people would falter. Finally, embracing struggle fosters gratitude and perspective. When you face hardship, you begin to notice the smaller victories, the subtle blessings and the quiet moments of triumph that others often overlook. You gain a deeper appreciation for the journey itself, understanding that the road to greatness is not paved with ease, but with persistence, courage, and relentless effort. In this way, struggle is not only a challenge to be endured, but a gift to be honored, a teacher to be respected, and a companion that guides you toward becoming truly unstoppable. Choosing the hard path is not about seeking difficulty for its own sake. It is about recognizing that the things worth achieving, the heights worth climbing, and the victories worth celebrating are never found in comfort or convenience. The easy road is tempting. It whispers promises of safety, familiarity, and instant gratification. It seems harmless, even wise, until you realize that it leads to stagnation, mediocrity, and the quiet despair of untapped potential. The hard path, on the other hand, demands effort, courage, and persistence. It asks you to rise before the sun, to work when exhaustion weighs heavily on your body, to continue when the world around you doubts you. It challenges every excuse, every hesitation, every fleeting thought that tells you to give up. And yet, it is this very path, the one that tests your limits and stretches your abilities, that molds you into someone unstoppable. The hard path requires decisions that are uncomfortable, choices that defy convenience, and actions that are often invisible to the world. It demands that you prioritize growth over ease, long-term gains over short-term satisfaction, and discipline over fleeting indulgence. Those who take it understand that progress is rarely immediate, that results are not always visible, and that recognition often comes long after the effort has been made. Yet they persist, driven by an inner fire, by the understanding that the difficult choices they make today are the foundation for the extraordinary life they will build tomorrow. Every step along this path strengthens character, hones skills, and deepens the resolve to persevere. Choosing the hard path also means embracing responsibility. It means taking ownership of your actions, your failures, and your successes. While others look for shortcuts, excuses, or easy fixes, you confront reality head-on. You accept that success is not handed out. It is earned through deliberate effort and unwavering commitment. Each time you take the road that others avoid, you train yourself to withstand discomfort, to manage uncertainty, and to thrive in the face of adversity. This is what sets the unstoppable apart. The willingness to do what is hard while others do what is easy. To push forward when others pause, and to embrace challenges that most would shy away from. Moreover, taking the hard path cultivates resilience. Life will inevitably throw obstacles in your way, unexpected setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. Those who have trained themselves to face difficulty are prepared to endure these trials without being defeated. They have learned that persistence, consistency, and effort are more powerful than luck, convenience, or comfort. Each challenge along the hard path is an opportunity to reinforce your strength, to refine your skills, and to deepen your understanding of what you are capable of achieving. The hard path is also a journey of self-discovery. When you push past your limits, you learn who you truly are. You discover the courage hidden beneath fear, the determination beneath doubt, and the strength beneath exhaustion. Every challenge you overcome, every risk you take, every obstacle you confront without turning back, reveals a version of yourself that you may have never known existed. This awareness fuels further growth and emboldens you to take on challenges that would intimidate the unprepared. Finally, choosing the hard path inspires others, whether you realize it or not. People are drawn to those who refuse to settle, who rise above the ordinary, and who persist when the easy option is within reach. By embracing difficulty, you become a living example of courage, discipline, and relentless pursuit of excellence. You show the world that the impossible can be achieved, not by shortcuts or luck, but through effort, persistence, and the willingness to do what is hard, no matter the cost. This path is not for the faint of heart. It is for those willing to endure, to sacrifice, and to rise above the temptations of comfort. It is for those who understand that greatness is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the deliberate choice to face it, to conquer it, and to use it as the fuel for an unstoppable life. Building unshakable discipline is one of the most powerful forces you can cultivate on the journey to becoming unstoppable. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement, the invisible engine that keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, and the quiet force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Talent can open doors and luck may provide opportunities, but without discipline, even the greatest potential can wither and fade. It is discipline that transforms intention into action, that converts fleeting inspiration into lasting results, and that allows you to persist when every part of your being begs you to quit. Developing this kind of discipline is not easy. It requires consistency, focus, and the unwavering commitment to do what must be done, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Discipline begins with small, deliberate actions taken consistently over time. It is waking up before the world stirs, pushing yourself through the tasks that seem tedious or unpleasant, and honoring your commitments even when the rewards are not immediate. It is the daily repetition of habits that align with your goals, the conscious decision to prioritize long-term growth over short-term pleasure. Every time you follow through on what you know needs to be done, you are reinforcing your ability to control your impulses, resist distractions, and focus relentlessly on the path you have chosen. In this way, discipline becomes a muscle, growing stronger with each deliberate action, each moment of self-control, and each choice to stay committed in the face of difficulty. Unshakable discipline also requires mastering your mind. The human mind is designed to seek comfort, to avoid pain, and to resist effort. Discipline is the conscious act of overriding these instincts, of choosing action over ease, and persistence over procrastination. It is not about suppressing your desires, but about channeling them in ways that serve your greater purpose. It is about creating a mental framework in which your actions are guided by intention rather than impulse, by vision rather than distraction. This mastery of the mind allows you to remain steadfast, even when circumstances are chaotic, when obstacles seem insurmountable, or when motivation wanes. Furthermore, discipline is intimately tied to accountability. Those with unshakable discipline understand that no one else can do the work for them, no one else can push them to rise, and no one else is responsible for their outcomes. They embrace ownership of their actions, recognizing that the path to success is paved by personal responsibility, consistent effort, and a refusal to blame external factors for failure. This accountability strengthens resolve and ensures that setbacks are met not with despair but with renewed determination and a commitment to course correction. Discipline also teaches resilience and patience. Life does not reward haste or impatience, and shortcuts rarely lead to lasting success. Through disciplined effort, you learn to endure discomfort, to accept delayed gratification, and to remain committed even when progress is slow or results are not immediately visible. It is this capacity to persist through adversity, to maintain focus in the face of distraction, and to steadily advance toward your goals that sets the unstoppable apart from the rest. Moreover, discipline builds confidence. When you consistently do what you said you would do, when you follow through on commitments even in the absence of motivation or external pressure, you develop a deep trust in yourself. This trust becomes a foundation upon which courage, boldness, and ambition can flourish. You begin to understand that you are capable of far more than you previously imagined, because you have proven to yourself that you can endure, you can persist, and you can succeed through consistent, deliberate action. Finally, unshakable discipline creates freedom. It may seem counterintuitive, but the more structured and disciplined your life becomes, the more empowered you are to act freely. With discipline comes control over your time, your energy, and your choices. It allows you to respond to opportunities rather than react to circumstances, to pursue your vision with clarity, and to move through the world with confidence that your efforts will yield the results you desire. Discipline, then, is not a restriction. It is the key to unlocking your full potential and becoming truly unstoppable. Confronting fear head-on is one of the most transformative actions you can take on the journey to becoming unstoppable. Fear is a natural part of life. It whispers doubts, magnifies risks, and tempts you to retreat into safety and familiarity. It manifests in many forms: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, or even fear of success. Left unchecked, fear has the power to paralyze, to keep you stuck in the same place year after year, and to prevent you from realizing the extraordinary potential that lies dormant within you. Yet fear is not your enemy. It is a signal, a compass pointing toward the areas in which growth is possible, and an invitation to step beyond the limits of comfort and certainty. Every time you confront fear, you step closer to becoming the person you are meant to be. Stepping into fear requires courage, but courage is not the absence of fear. It is action despite it. The most unstoppable individuals are not fearless. They simply refuse to allow fear to dictate their choices. They recognize that growth begins at the edge of discomfort, and that true opportunity often hides behind the veil of uncertainty. When you act in spite of fear, when you pursue your goals while trembling with doubt, you are proving to yourself that your potential is far greater than your anxieties. Fear becomes a tool, not a trap, a force that sharpens your focus, fuels your determination, and strengthens your resolve. Facing fear also builds resilience. Life will always throw challenges your way, and those challenges often come dressed as fears: fear of change, fear of loss, or fear of inadequacy. By confronting fear repeatedly, you train yourself to endure the unknown, to navigate uncertainty, and to recover quickly from setbacks. Each encounter with fear becomes a rehearsal for greater challenges, preparing you to handle whatever life places in your path. The more you expose yourself to fear and act regardless, the less power it has over you, and the more capable you become of moving forward with confidence and clarity. Moreover, confronting fear expands your limits. Most people stop at the edge of what feels safe and comfortable, never daring to test the boundaries of their abilities. By choosing to face fear, you break through these self-imposed limitations. You discover strengths, talents, and resilience you didn't know you had. Each step taken in the presence of fear enlarges your comfort zone and opens doors to opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Fear, in this sense, is not a barrier. It is a gateway. Confronting fear also teaches you to embrace uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and the future is never guaranteed. Those who allow fear to control their decisions are trapped by the illusion of safety. Those who act in spite of fear, however, learn to thrive amidst ambiguity, to make choices without certainty, and to trust in their ability to navigate the unknown. This ability to move forward despite incomplete knowledge or wavering confidence is a hallmark of the unstoppable. Fear also deepens self-awareness. Each time you confront what scares you, you learn more about your true values, your priorities, and the things that genuinely matter. You begin to see where courage and integrity intersect, where perseverance and vulnerability coexist, and where your dreams demand that you step into discomfort in order to achieve them. By acknowledging fear and acting regardless, you gain insight into the kind of person you are becoming and the kind of life you are capable of creating. Finally, confronting fear inspires others without a word. People are drawn to those who refuse to let fear dictate their lives, who rise in the face of uncertainty, and who pursue their vision despite the risks. By modeling courage, you create a ripple effect, showing others that fear is not a stopping point, but a signal that they are on the right path. The act of stepping into fear becomes a declaration of strength, a statement that challenges can be overcome, and a testament to the power of human resilience and determination.